Bill, thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you stopping by.
Sure.
I wanted to visit with you about the course. We're about halfway through the semester, and at this point I like to keep track of where students are at, and I noticed you were a little bit behind. You've missed a number of assignments, and I'm a little bit worried that if you don't have a good finish here, things might not turn out very well for you, and that's not what I want. So what do you make of your performance so far?
Well, I started off the semester with feeling really good about what I was doing and having a lot of motivation, and between work and my child, it was just really difficult to keep up. And then I found that once I wasn't on top of things, it was really easy to just kind of put it off, because I felt like even when I did do the work, I wasn't getting 100% caught up, and it just didn't feel good altogether.
So you started off feeling good, like this is going to be a good class for you, you're excited, but you sound a little frustrated now that you've gotten behind.
Yeah.
And kind of now that you're in the hole, you're having a hard time, even though you've tried, you can't quite dig out. The more you do, you're still behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have as much motivation to spend those 2 or 3 hours working online, because like I said, even when I do put those 3 hours and I still don't feel like I'm back up to 100%, it still feels like a losing effort altogether.
So if you can't quite get all the way caught up, it feels like it wasn't even worth it to do what you've done.
Exactly.
And that makes it harder to get back to. Even when you're trying, it doesn't quite feel like it's not rewarding for you right now.
It makes it harder to get motivated, and it makes it easier to find excuses not to get back in front of the computer and get caught up where I need to be.
So it sounds like a part of you really wants to get caught up and be where you are, but a part of you also just wants to kind of step away and forget it. It's kind of hopeless.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a lot of I have a lot of baseline motivation. I really want a good career. I know that I probably can't have the career that I want without a degree, but sometimes I have thoughts about how much debt I have going into this degree program, if I'll ever really be able to finish. I'm still not exactly sure what I want my degree to be, so it's kind of hard to visualize where I'm going to be. It kind of seems like I'm running on a treadmill and I'm not exactly sure where I'm going, but I know that I want to be able to have a good career to support my child and to really have a solid foundation for life and be able to do all the things that I want to do.
Sure. So you want a degree, you want a career, you're just not sure what, and you feel a little bit like without a rudder right now.
Yeah.
You're not sure what direction to go or why you're heading that direction right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of that kind of allows me to to put off the work that I need to do.
Right.
Every time I start to get motivation, I really start to kind of doubt myself a little bit, and just doubt where I'm going, really.
Okay. So it's almost like you've got that kind of angel and devil on your shoulder. One's telling you, you want this, do it, and the other's telling you, why bother, what for?
Yeah, and a lot of times the devil wins out, and I end up procrastinating and not, doing my work, or, it's easier to say, well, you need to spend time with the child rather than to do the schoolwork. So, yeah, all those things kind of play in, and it ends up just leading to lesser motivation for me.
Yeah.
And makes me kind of think about not continuing with the program and just kind of getting out of it.
And you've got some real competing demands. You've got your child you want to spend time with, so you've got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I do.
One thing that would help me just sort of get to know you a little bit and your interest in what you're doing here, if you could put on a 1 to 10 scale, with 10 being the most important thing, 1 not all important, how important is a college degree to you right now, today?
Importance is maybe about halfway.
Okay.
Maybe at about a 5.
Okay.
And that's just because, I have all those other things that are important to me in my life, and so without knowing exactly where I'm going, the degree is, it's in the middle somewhere.
Right. A little bit on the fence right now about.
Yeah.
I wonder why, though, you say it's a 5 and not a 1 or a 2. Why is it somewhat important to you?
Well, I know it's not a 1 or a 2 because I've already made the investment. You know, I do get some reward out of learning what I'm learning in class, and I do know that it's likely to lead to a better career, the type of career that I want. It's just not being able to really visualize that exactly. It makes it not as important because I sometimes doubt exactly what I'll be able to do with my degree.
Okay. So you like learning, and you have an idea that it will pay off at some time in the future. You just don't really see that clear picture yet about what that will be and what that's for.
Exactly, and so that kind of makes it feel less real or less concrete when I don't know exactly what I want to do.
And it might help you if you could have a little clearer idea of exactly where you're heading and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I guess it probably would help if I had a clearer picture.
Okay. Okay. So those are some reasons why it's important, and those are terrific. I wonder why, despite those reasons, it stays a little bit lower. Why not 8 or 9 or 10?
I don't think it's all the way at the top of importance, again, because I have those really important things, and I'm a little bit worried about getting a job when I graduate, and again, it might be because I don't know exactly what I want to do. And then the other thing is I kind of question like taking on more debt versus just kind of, even though I already have a little bit of debt, just getting out now and having that debt to work with without the degree, it makes it a little bit less important because
Right.
of those kind of factors.
So you're worried if you go a little farther and you get a little more debt and still don't know where you're going, that wouldn't be a good place to be.
Yeah, and that scares me.
Okay. So it sounds like for you, if you could get a little better focus of what it is you're trying to do, that would be pretty helpful for you in terms of your motivation.
Yeah, I guess I think that it would be helpful to kind of have a better idea.
Okay. If I were to ask you that same kind of 1 to 10 question, but I'm going to ask you a little bit differently, if you decided that for sure you were going to finish a college degree and move towards a career, how confident are you that you could do it? Could you pull that off if you set your mind to it?
Oh yeah, I know that I could if I was 100% sure about the
Okay.
importance. I'd probably be at a 10. I'd definitely be very confident that I could do it.
There's no doubt in your mind that once you set your mind to it, that this is something you'll succeed at.
Absolutely. I really have a lot of confidence. I'm just not exactly sure
Okay.
about what I want to do and the importance of it.
What gives you that confidence? What kind of things do you see in yourself that make you so sure you could do that?
Well, I'm determined. I know that once I set my mind to something, I can get it done. I can really motivate myself once I have it set in my mind that I want to do something.
Mhm.
It's just the only area where I suffer is knowing for sure if I want to do it or not, and
Okay.
weighing I start to think about it, and then I get anxious, and then I just kind of brush it away and really just don't approach it because I don't like thinking about the consequences and things like that.
Okay. So you're kind of hard-headed in a good way, that if you set your mind to it, it's something you're going to get done.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And right now you're just not quite there where you've made up your mind for sure that this is for you.
Yeah.
Even though you have some very good ideas, I think, about why it might be for you in terms of wanting to have a good career, providing for your family, having a better life for yourself.
Yeah, all those things, are things that motivate me and things that make me think that it would be a good idea to get my degree. It's just the other things like not really being able to visualize exactly where I'm going, I think is probably one of the bigger things.
Okay. Well, my goal is not just to help you succeed in this class, but I certainly want to help you do that, but I want to help you succeed in all your goals. So, maybe we could talk about this again in the future, and maybe we can shift gears a little bit now and brainstorm some specific ways that we can help you succeed in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would really help me.
For focusing on your career, what do you think is the next step? Where do you think you'd like to go in terms of figuring out whether this college thing is really for you?
Well, I'd like to see, what my options are, and by that I'd like to see, what areas have the highest rates of job placement once you graduate, because that's a big thing for me. Like I said, with my child and wanting to support my child, it's really important that I not only I want to have something that I'm passionate about and that I really enjoy, but I also really want something that's going to be able to pay the bills, and that I'm likely to be able to get a job in when I graduate. So, you know, and I don't
Sure.
know what that I've kind of looked up that information online, but then I get kind of lost. So having that type of information would be great and
Sure.
probably help me a lot.
Well, you know, one resource we have here at the college you may not be familiar with is we have some career counselors and a career office that has lots of information, and really that's one of their main missions is to help people in your position sort that out. What am I doing and where am I going?
Okay.
So I could maybe set you up with them, and they could probably be a lot of help in that area.
Okay. That sounds pretty good.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today, Bill.
All right. Thank you.